Before I start this video, do not do any of the things that anyone does in this video, especially if you're a child. You could get yourself and your friends in trouble or worse, hurt or dead forever. Enjoy the video. So Yu-Gi-Oh has always kind of been a kid's game. At least the game marketed to kids. Not a game marketed to fat, sweaty nerds who smell like shit and have disposable income, and don't have communication skills, and have never touched a woman, and play Mystic Mine. So there's no real danger in the game besides maybe getting a paper cut from an unsleeved card. And yeah, you read that title right. I almost died at locals. How the fuck do I almost die from playing Yu-Gi-Oh? Well, let's start from the beginning. So it was any other night, about to go to locals when my friend hits me up. We planned on going to locals together since he was back from school during that week. So I tell him to pick me up at 5:30 and he asks me if I want to be picked up at 5 so we can go smoke. He wanted to smoke right before we went there, and mind you, I hadn't really smoked before. I mean, I've taken hits off blunts before at parties, but to be honest, I don't even really think I was inhaling properly to begin with to even get one hit. And secondhand doesn't really count either, so I basically hadn't smoked before. And now that I think about it, I probably looked like a fucking idiot at those parties when I'm inhaling from a blunt and no smoke is coming out of my mouth. So anyways, we're almost there and he takes a left to a parking lot. He parks up and starts to take the weed out until we see a security car patrolling the area. Obviously we're not stupid, so we leave and go to an Outback Steakhouse down the street. Can you imagine how dumb we look for getting caught by security as we're about to smoke when we're on our way to a fucking Yu-Gi-Oh event? Yeah, we're clearly so cool. So we go to the back of the steakhouse and we park at the back. No one could possibly see us there. So he takes out a bottle of water, puts some metal shit in it, and puts the weed in the metal part. Now, my memory isn't great from this part, so I don't remember exactly how he made this ghetto-ass makeshift bong, but he puts it to his mouth and takes a hit. After 3 hits, greedy bastard, he hands it to me, and like I said before, I was never inhaling right the first time, so he tells me to take a very big breath. I breathe, exhale. He tells me to do it again. I breathe, exhale. I wait a few seconds, nothing's happening. What kind of trash weed is this? Now, before I go any further, I used to get really bad panic attacks. Like, where it feels like everything is screaming at me, I fear everything, even my toothbrush, I can see forever, and I'm going to die. So after I take a few rips from this bong and wait 10 seconds, my vision starts to get a little weird. I'm getting a little anxious. Did this weed just give me a fucking panic attack? Now, I know nothing about weed, but is that possible? Probably not, but I thought it was at the moment. Immediately after this, my vision goes from a little wavy to the whole fucking world is literally spinning. I'm not exaggerating. I get out of the car in a panic and I can barely stand. My vision literally looked like I'm constantly being spun to the left. It's just constant motion blur and a panicked feeling. I'm thinking to myself, what the fuck did he put in this weed? Is this even weed? So of course this freaks him out, and he gives me a drink of water. And trust me, it wasn't the bong water. I'm sure someone who just took 7 bong rips from weed that strong might confuse the two. But the water he gave me wasn't helping. By the way, yes, you are still watching a Yu-Gi-Oh video, I'm getting to it. So we go across the street to where my locals is, and we park in front of the McDonald's that's near there. He turns on the radio and goes inside to get something to eat. I get kind of excited because even though it feels like I'm literally going insane and losing touch with reality, I remember Danny from Game Grumps described that eating food while high makes everything taste better. So I was so excited to try this delicious bacon McDouble that I normally get. The sweet, fluffy bun, the melty, savory cheese, the juicy patty, the moist, crisp onions. Oh, I couldn't fucking wait. He brings back the food. I unwrap it for what must have been a straight minute. I take a bite. This burger tastes like shit. The bread is flavorless, the meat is extremely dry and flavorless, and I can't taste anything besides the bacon that tasted like dog treats. Yeah, I had a thing for trying dog treats when I was a kid, stop judging me. But my cotton mouth was so bad that I literally couldn't even taste food. My mouth was that dry from the weed. So I'm in the middle of chewing, and I'm so depressed that I just go, tastes like shit. My friend was so disappointed that I wasn't having a good time that he's like, "Aw, I'm sorry, man. But he wasn't that sorry, because you want to know what he says next?
You still want to try to go to locals?
What the fuck do you think? I can't even stand, let alone navigate a full pendulum magician combo. I keep forgetting what I'm doing every 15 seconds, and you think I can keep up with a full Goki Gumblar hand loop without falling out of my chair and landing on some kid who's trying to figure out if he wants to summon Dark Magician without tributing or negate with MST? I look like a sweaty, drooling dumbass who can't keep a 2-word conversation or move 3 feet, and you think I can play at locals? Which is what I would have said if I wasn't partially, maybe even clinically brain dead. What did I actually say?
Nah, man. I can't even walk.
I am in this car, or rather my body is. I'm looking out the window, and I'm starting to have an out-of-body experience. Will this ever end? Will this be my life forever? What if I'm dying and I don't know it? It's not like I can do anything about it. God, please help me. I beg of you.
Effective ice hold.
Chain Ash.
Okay. Game 2.
Sure. Where's Alce?
I don't know.
Yu-Gi-Oh players, that's time on the round. Will I ever be able to see my mother again?
You guys see that new Raid Raptor support? Yeah, it looks pretty cool.
Probably won't make the deck meta, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Someone just end my suffering. So, throughout the night, I'm constantly feeling rushing waves of anxiety. Anxiety just going down, plateauing, then spiking up, then I panic. So I'm sure my friend has had to learn how to talk someone down from having a bad high or trip or whatever. So he tells me, take out your deck and tell me what the cards do. I take out my Pendulum Magicians, and I try to describe Chronograph Sorcerer. This is how that went. So, Chronograph you... So there's this link for pendulums. Chronograph, there's Electromite, you have to make it to play... Chronograph, you like put it in your scale and chronograph, fucking forgot what I was talking about. I'm getting visibly frustrated. I can't even remember what I'm doing at any moment in time. So the night continues, it feels like it's midnight now, I'm still out of my fucking mind. But then, out of nowhere, it immediately spikes down. My vision comes back, I'm shaking like a scared puppy, I'm drenched in sweat and my hair is all messed up. And to make things worse, remember how I said I thought it was midnight? Guess what? It wasn't a 6-hour episode of having a bad high. No, it lasted for 2 hours. Apparently, time moves by extremely slow if you're having a bad high. But now that my sight, balance, and taste buds are back, we go into the Target that's down the road, I get a big bag of puffed Cheetos, and drown this extremely traumatic moment in delicious, cheesy goodness. Cheetos! Here you go, you sad high fuck. But we were both so confused as to why that happened. Why did I have such a bad reaction to weed? It didn't seem like that much. Apparently, if your tolerance to marijuana is too low and you smoke too much, you can go through a horrific panic attack. I just assumed that since people liked weed, you can't have an overdose on weed, then smoking more would just make the high better. Incorrect. It actually ruins your night, forces your friend to have to babysit you until you turn back into a functioning adult, and makes everything taste like shit. But in the end, I came out of it fine, and I never touched weed again because of that. And to think that all of my friends who were at locals that day maybe were wondering why I wasn't there, and I was just completely fucking bugging out in front of the fucking McDonald's that's in front of the store, my face pressed against the fucking window while I'm trying to read fucking Chronograph Sorcerer. It was probably one of my worst Yu-Gi-Oh experiences ever, but you know what? It made for some good content. But I'll see you guys later. Like and subscribe. My name is Alsei, A-L-S-E-I. Peace, y'all.